Hi everybody, it's Yasmin, back to do a new moon ceremony here and now. I actually did a dark of the moon ceremony this morning. Some of you may have tuned in. Here comes someone now. Hello, hello. Sorry about my backdrop. I'm moving things around here. So I was meant to do the new moon ceremony this morning and I just wasn't ready. It was too, I don't know about you, but I've been finding the energy in this waning cycle that we're still in for a few more minutes quite intense. I mean, I know it's lockdown and I mean, I've even been teary. You know what made me burst into tears the other day? This might not mean much to people outside of the UK, but people in the UK will know this. You know, good old Major Tom, who raised £30 million, or was it 40, for the NHS, and by walking up and down his back garden. He's like in his 90s. He's this really old fellow, gorgeous old fellow, very British, very English, you know, I'm sure some people would say representing the old empire and stuff like that. But he raised, I think, 30 or 40 million pounds, which is, you know, even more dollars, for the NHS, which is the national health system here in the UK, which was just extraordinary. You know, he just fired up the imagination of the nation and he raised all this money. And then this week, I'm going to cry again if I'm not careful. This week, the Queen recognized him and gave him a knighthood. I was so happy for him because he was like, I mean, I know people go, oh, the Queen, the Imperials, the, you know, it's all just part of the patriarchy and the 1% and all that, and I do get all that. But at the same time, I was just so happy for him. I'm sure that he is one happy dude, having raised all this money for the NHS and actually being honoured by Her Majesty the Queen, that he's been saluting his whole life, you know, as is in the British Army. So I read that on the internet, actually, about 2 days ago. I'd just been for somewhere in the car. Yeah, Sean's saying, and the stiff upper lip, bless him. Yes, exactly. And I burst into tears, like, whoa! I was so happy for Major Tom, or Sir Tom as he is now. And I just thought, you know, I am so pent up. So this morning, when I was going to do the new moon ceremony at 11:11 a.m. today, I thought, you know what? Nah, because it's not the new moon yet. And as much as I had, you know, hundreds of people who said, yes, I'll be there, I thought I'm actually going to make it the dark of the moon ceremony. So we did a dark of the moon ceremony and it was so wonderful for me anyway, and everybody else seems to have enjoyed it. I actually haven't even been able to respond to the comments. There was something like, I did on the Hay House page, I was just looking at them then, there was something like 600 comments, maybe more, I'm not sure. And I didn't even begin because I thought I don't want to respond to the first, you know, 200 and then everybody else thinks I've ignored them. But maybe I'll give it a go. But thank you for all the comments. I'm actually reading them now as they come in as well. Janet says, everything like that makes me teary at the moment. Yeah, I think we're just a bit more, you know, vulnerable in our feelings. It's just been really, really intense. And, you know, and in some ways such a blessing. So anyway, we are now 3 minutes away from the new moon. And what I really want to do is I want to meditate through it. And I'm going to put on some music, which is my beautiful friends, Joe and Idor, who are Australians. And actually Joe passed away. But she was such a beautiful, beautiful woman, and Idor has continued to make beautiful music. And so I'm going to play something by them. I have full permission to play anything I like from them. And I know what I'm going to play, but I'm not going to put it on yet because I just want to say, I just want to give you an idea of what we're going to do. So I've got a list here actually because I knew I'd forget. So yeah, so we're going to start with a meditation just to get us in the zone. I might do a little quick chant and then we'll do just a really short meditation, but to the goddess Durga, who's about new moon intentions. And then we'll talk about the new moon in general. We'll talk about this new moon. I'm going to touch on Venus retrograde, which is going on right now, which is another reason why a lot of people are feeling all their feelings. And we're going to make one wish, and I'll do a very quick spread. And I'm hoping to do all that in about an hour. I mean, about half an hour. So I don't know if that's actually going to be possible. Okay, so let us... I'm going to just play this. I hope you can hear it. Can you hear it? Let me know if you can hear it. Hi, Sam Channer. New moon, baby. Here we go. Just close your eyes and just listen to the beautiful music. The music means I surrender to the divine. Close your eyes. Okay, you can hear it. And just think about all you have to be grateful for. Hands over your heart chakra. And just think, thank you, universe. Thank you. Just think about all the blessings that you have in your life. Let them just roll across your mind. It might be your family, your friends, your house where you live. Even if things have been tough in lockdown, I want you to focus on the good. And just fill up with feeling good. And maybe if you want to, you can write in the comments the good in your life, what you have to be grateful for. This is where we focus on the good. I'm so grateful for the extra chance I've had to talk to my mother during lockdown. We've got on the phone at least every second day, normally every day. What are you grateful for? Think about it. Thank you, Divine Mother, thank you. I'm grateful for our courtyard. So even when I couldn't go out easily, I could catch some sun in the courtyard. What are you grateful for? And most of all, I'm grateful for my beautiful husband and son. Just breathe. And I'm really grateful for all you guys, for our community. Keep saying what you're grateful for. Thank you, universe, thank you. I'm grateful for this spare room, which I've overtaken during lockdown. I'm grateful for my goosebumps that I've got right now. I'm grateful to my teacher in India, Sri Shakti Narayani Amma, who's helped me through this whole process of this lockdown with the chanting to Maha Kali. I'm grateful to Kali. Yeah, I'm grateful to the moon as well, Trisha. Thank you, moon. Can't see the moon at new moon. Just put your hands together in prayer position if it feels right. And just lower your head a bit and think, thank you, universe. Thank you. Breathe in and out. And now, as we are in that state of gratitude, I want you to think of your number one new moon wish or intention for the month ahead. Get it in your mind's eye. I just had the strangest vision. I'll have to tell you about it in a minute. All right, and now I want you to repeat after me, please. This or something better now manifests for me under grace in perfect ways. And then your hands between your breasts or in the middle of your chest. Throw your arm out as far away as you can. So be it. There we go. We did the meditation and the new moon wishing all at once, but wasn't that gorgeous? I really felt everyone's energy. It's really been interesting because I've been doing a lot of chanting on Zoom, and if you want to join us, everybody's welcome. It's free, obviously. We do it every day. It's like 10:30 a.m. London time, it's 11:11 a.m. London time, 8:11 p.m. Sydney time, and 5:11 New York time. And I'm afraid it's a bit unsociable on the West Coast. I think it's like, I don't know, it's 5:11 a.m. in New York, so I think it's minus 5 hours from there, isn't it? And one thing that's been really amazing is that every time that I have felt like, wow, that was such a strong session of chanting, everybody says in the comments, wow, that was such a strong session of chanting. It's like we all kind of vibe off each other and feel each other's energy. So here we all are. So let's join together energetically now. Like, let's energetically hold hands. You know, if you are sitting in a way that you can kind of feel yourself holding hands, and let's imagine ourselves as a circle of light workers around the planet, holding hands, and let's imagine the energy coming in the left hand and going out the right hand. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's the way I've said it. So let's do that. Going around the planet like a matrix, like a lattice work of fairy lights around the planet. Sending out good vibes to the planet. And sending out really supportive vibes to everybody who's watching this right now. And everybody who watches the rebroadcast. Sending out support to them for their new moon wish, their biggest new moon wish. And I can feel a chant coming on. I'm going to do a chant to the goddess Kali. No, I'm sorry. I've got Kali on the brain. Someone just said the chant is at 10:30 a.m. London time. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. It's my daily message is 11:11 a.m. So it's 10:30 a.m. London. I don't know what the other times are. You have to work them out. I'm sorry. But I'm going to do a chant now to Durga. Now, why Durga? Because Durga is the goddess that we communicate with at the time of the new moon, because she is the goddess who brings us courage and strength. And what do we need right now in the middle of the pandemic? Courage and strength. And what do we need every new moon? Courage and strength to fulfill our intentions, you know? All right, so I'm going to do a Durga chant. I'm going to do it's going to 3 lines, okay? Here we go. Just in time for the chant, says Sunita. Yes, you are. Here we go. Om Durgaye Namaha. Om Durgaye Namaha. Om Durgaye Namaha. And we call on the beautiful goddess Durga to bring us courage and strength to fulfill our intentions. We call on Durga every month. Someone's saying your diary says we should invite in Saraswati, and we should as well. Do you know why? So Durga is the goddess who brings us courage and strength. So we always appeal to her every single new moon. And if you do these sessions with me every month, you'll see I nearly always do the Durga chant. Saraswati is particular for this month. Can anybody tell me why in the comments? Anybody know? Anybody know? Because it's the new moon in Gemini, and Saraswati is the goddess of Gemini. She's the goddess of language, and so we appeal to her at the time of the new moon in Gemini. Let me find who's got the diary. Who's seen the new diary? Let me find it for you. Who's seen the 2021 diary? Have you not seen it yet? Are you ready? Oh my God, it's so gorgeous. Oh, that's the one for next year. You can pre-order it now on Amazon before it sells out. You never know. Sold out last year and the year before. That's the one for 2021. How beautiful is it? And I'm writing 2022, like finishing it now. But this is 2020, sold out, I'm afraid. But in it, it says, this week's new moon in Gemini brings the time of the year to manifest better communications. Now, Who needs better communications with the people they are with in lockdown? I kind of do, actually. My husband and I have been great, but every now and then I just sort of lose it, you know, like it's just frustration, I suppose, isn't it? So yeah, go to Saraswati for better communications. Also, it says here, understand that sometimes life is just confusing and there is nothing we can do about it. And the reason why I wrote that is because we've actually had this Mercury, Venus, Neptune square going on this week. So it's been kind of confusing and draining and difficult, and it's already difficult enough without more confusion, agreed? What else have I said here? Remember that life is constantly unfolding, and even if you're not sure what's coming next, well, you soon will be, because guess what? It'll come next. Very logical. Meditate, meditate, meditate. At the very least, it will calm a troubled mind. Yes, so if you're feeling troubled this week, meditate, meditate, and meditate a bit more. During this week, remember that the words we say create our lives and have an incredible power. And I'm like, as I read this, you know, I've got to be real here. I actually have been a bit grumpy this week and said things that I've regretted and I've apologized for. To my beautiful husband mainly. He gets all the stick, you know. Oh, we just need to get out of here, don't we? We just need... We're starting to go out. My son's been out again this afternoon with some friends. I'm very, 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 very happy about that. So, you know, the kids need to get out. During this week, remember the words we say create our lives and have incredible power. At this new moon in Gemini, it should be obvious where you have room for improvement in terms of how well or not you're expressing yourself or getting your message across. So yeah, I guess that's my message is, you know, like just think when you get grumpy, Yasmin, don't take it out on your beautiful husband. And I never take it out on my son, obviously, because my son is, you know, like the light of my life. So I guess it's going to be husband or mother. And mother seems to be doing pretty well right now. So I need to, yeah, says Genevieve, me too, my poor husband. Well, Olivier, my husband's just gone off to pick my son up from the park, and where my son has been socially distancing, wearing a mask with some friends, and hopefully, and as he walked out the door, he said, "See you later, darling. I love you. I always love you, even when you're mad with me." And I'm like, "I love you too, darling." So there we go. There we go. All right. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a card reading. And I asked you, I'm going to do a card reading, and I'm going to do a single card. If you're in my new membership area, the Sun, Moon, Stars portal, oh, here we got it. I'm going to do an ABC card, so you can kind of take your pick out of 3. But here I'm just going to do one single card, getting lots of hearts for that. Rebecca says, what about written communication? Yes, written communication as well, for sure. Gemini rules all communication, so it's a good time to start. Let me just say one thing, actually, before we do the card. Excuse me. There is actually some good news in the air right now. With not only do we get the new moon, we've got the new moon now, we're actually into the waxing cycle now. We're out of the madness and the chaos and the difficulty of the past few weeks. That is that they've just come home. I should get them on here and tell them I love them. I've been so grumpy too. I've been okay. It's just been the last couple of days. Like the last 2 days, I think I should have just gone and lived in a cave or something. Anyway, what was I saying? I actually can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, Teresa's grumpy. Nisa is grumpy. We're all grumpy. We're all going to be better now. Oh yeah, I was going to say there's even other good things. So we're all going to be better now because we're through the waning of the moon, the waning cycle, and the dark shadow of the dark moon, which was quite intense. And we're now through to the other side. Now the moon is going to start it's going to reappear and get bigger and bigger and bigger all the way back to the full moon. So we're actually into a much easier cycle. Also, we're actually about to get a Mars harmonizing with Uranus coming up. Now, what does that mean? It means that things are going to start to shift. Mars is the engine of the zodiac. It's the car, it's the motor of the zodiac. And Uranus is the planet of change and turnarounds, okay? Plus in June, we're going to get eclipses and a Mercury retrograde. I reckon we're coming out of this. Touch wood. Hopefully that's not wishful thinking. That's me banging on the table. But things are going to start to shift now, including any grumpiness that it seems like 90% of the comments I've seen are people saying I'm feeling grumpy. Oh, good. Nikki's feeling less grumpy. Michelle was grumpy and teary yesterday. Me too. Harmony Jill, she's grumpy as well. Rochelle is grumpy. We're all grumpy. Oh my goodness, that's really funny. All right, so who wants a card? Yes, I'm so glad I'm not the only one as well. I've got a card here, and it's life guidance for us all, okay? It's probably going to say stop being so grumpy. Ah, we couldn't really have asked for a better one. We really couldn't have asked for a better one. Expect powerful change. So there is change coming. I feel the change in the air, and I don't think it's just because I know there's a Mars-Uranus thing coming. I think there's change coming. You know, there's the new moon, there's Mars-Uranus. We're going to get eclipses pretty soon, which are always big changes. And we're going to get Mercury retrograde. And you might think, oh, Mercury retrograde, that doesn't sound too good. But for one thing, remember, I've been trying to indoctrinate everyone by understanding that Mercury retrograde has its plus points. But also, you know, actually a lot of the whole pandemic lockdown thing started when Mercury was retrograde, or maybe it wasn't a lockdown, maybe it was the start of the pandemic, because I remember thinking around this, when we were first going into this whole pandemic COVID-19 phase, I remember thinking, oh, well, that's really strange, like Mercury's retrograde now, and this is all starting. I need to check the dates. It may even have been when I was going to Nashville, which was back in February, and I was flying from London to Nashville, and I was the only person in the airport wearing a mask, but I was just like being really, really careful. More people reporting grumpiness. We have a grumpy crew today. Anyway, we're all going to feel better now. But I think Mercury retrograde, you know, I think it might mark the end of this whole period of lockdown. Hopefully it doesn't mean that the next retrograde we're back in. Anyway, expect powerful change. It is coming. And there's big changes coming to us all, you know, like who hasn't been changed by this? How could you not be changed by 10 weeks at home? You know, even if it's just knowing that you get really grumpy around the new moon and you need to work harder to be nice. Be nice. I'm always saying to my son, be nice, darling. It's easy to be nice. So we all just need to be nice. Oh, JC says she's feeling lonely and stuck. I'm so sorry. You're not lonely. You've got all of us. Tell people where you are, or just get on my private Facebook group and have a chat in there. It's a really, really friendly space. I think you can find it, Yasmin, Boland. I think it's the subscriber circle is what I called it. It's a safe space, amazing people in there. And I'm going to create a community as well for the new Sun, Moon and Stars. And I am going to give you one very last, this is literally has to be it. I even shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it. One very last chance to get 50% off if you join the Sun, Moon and Stars today. This offer ends tomorrow. It has to end tomorrow, I think. We might just keep it for sort of like something we offer deep in the layers of our business, so to speak. But I'm going to offer it one more time if you want it. moonmessages.com/Aries offer. moonmessages.com/Aries offer. That's because we actually first put that offer up when the new moon in Aries was taking place, so 2 new moons ago. That's it. The membership's going live in the next, I reckon, 48 hours. So if you want to get the half price, you'll still get access to, if you join now, you get the old one. You get all the same info, but you're going to get it in a much, much nicer environment. All right, so on that note, I feel like sharing that. It's a picture of my teacher in India, Narayani Amma. Those of you who've been chanting with me, that's the voice that you hear at the start of the chanting. Who doesn't feel better? I feel better. Do you feel a bit better? Elaine says, I can feel a sense of change on the way. Yeah, me too. Fanny says, I'm a darling. Oh, you're a darling for saying that. Thank you. Yep. I can promise you the energy's going to shift now. We're through it. We meditated through the new moon. There's nothing better to do than that. So I'm going to say have a beautiful weekend, and I will be back. I will be on Zoom at 10:30 a.m. London time on Monday. You can sign up for that for a reminder in my events page, and 11:11 a.m. for my daily message on Monday. So, mwah, have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And we all need to commit to not being grumpy, especially with the people who are most loving and beautiful to us. Lots of love.